Now the question is Paul involved? Then the next thing I did was to involve a lawyer. I knew it was a fight. When I got a lawyer, I still gave it a chance. I approached Paul once again in his house. I said, Paul, I pray say this you don't know about that. I said, what am I talking about? I said, better you come clean. Trust me. So what do I mean? Could do plus and minus. Whatever I don't take from me, no problem. We'll calculate that. Tell me how I'll get that. We'll sell our catalog, remove my money, give me. I don't want problem. Say to me, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He walked up. That shows that he doesn't know anything. The lawyer came. We prepared a petition. In that petition, he now made a petition against Paul and Jude. I said, no. Paul's not involved here. I said, remove Paul's name. He removed it. I said, remove Jude's name. See, they don't understand. I said, remove Jude's name. Focus on the company, Northside Music. So the petition was against Northside Music. That's why even in court, the case is about concerning Northside Music and federal government. When I wrote that petition, it took the law enforcement agency at least 6 months to investigate. I'm not sure if you guys remember after my open letter and the whole EFCC, when I talked about the EFCC, when I posted about it, how Jude came on live to say that he was shocked that I wrote petition against him and I still came to his house to play with his kids. That's how wicked I am. No, Jude. Point of correction. I took the company that you claim you have nothing, you know nothing about, you and Paul. I wrote a petition against the company. I needed answers. So 6 months after the law enforcement agency finished their, investigation, Jude was then invited to their office because they now discovered that, of course, that the company is actually owned by him. Not just him and his wife. Paul was invited for questioning. What the letter said, dear Mr. Paul, please, there's an ongoing investigation going on. Please, we need your help to help us fast track the investigation. That's what they call it. They sent for Paul. And they sent it for Paul to come on a different day. Unfortunately, he decided to go to EFCC with Jude at the same day. Of course, they took them to separate rooms. Apparently, they asked Paul, who owns Northside Entertainment? Paul said, it's owned by us, 3 of us. Correct. Paul, who owns Northside Inc.? Paul said, Jude. Mr. Paul, who now owns Northside Music?
I was that the kind of question he started asking himself. I wasn't comfortable with him. I said, what is this?
Oh, why are they asking this question? Blah, blah, blah. Paul now says he's affiliated to Jude. That was how Jude was arrested. I was thinking Paul will come to me and say, hey, guy, now brother do this. See. When Jude was detained, unfortunately, he was detained on his birthday. He got bail that night. So after like about 4 or 5 days or so, the head of I think the zonal head of the law enforcement agency decided to call for a meeting. I came for that meeting. Myself, 2 of my lawyers, and my manager. Paul and Jude came alone. No legal team. We sat down. While the man was trying to see if we can come to an agreement, Paul said something that was shocking. While they were trying to find out how, they told Jude, do you know you committed a crime? And Jude said, yes. In his own word, quote me. Both Jude affidavit, both his statement, he admitted he diverted money. This graph. I don't have water in my mouth. Only for Paul to say in EFCC, this is the biggest betrayal I've never received in my life. Paul told the EFCC, sir, P square. This is P square. Me and Peter are the face. Oh God. Paul, or maybe can someone explain to me how Jude is P square, or how Jude owns P square? Jude have never invested 1 naira in P square. There is no contract whatsoever that we had. And the only document that just goes around showing everybody is the MOU we all signed in 2016. The same document I said that was my financial freedom. The MOU stated a sharing formula. And guess what? It's renewable every year. So in 2016, 2017, it has expired. And even the 3 ways that we share were just based on family. After all, our first manager was on percentage. Second, our mom wasn't on anything. Of course, she's our mom. The real manager that we actually employed, Hawiti, was taking 10%. You came out of brotherly love. We're sharing 3 ways. All of a sudden, you own P square. Paul, how? Paul went to City FM, granted an interview. In that interview, never for once did he tell the world that petition was against Jude or maybe Northside Music. Paul said with his own mouth, watch this.
I was invited by the EFCC. They had a petition against me and my other brother. And I did not expect, I never thought it would come to this part. I thought it was just music thing. Then next thing, people are telling me, what did you do? Somebody say you're going to go to jail 20 years. They're going to lock you up. What did I do? Okay, I got there. Okay, what is it? They told me everything. They've already printed on my account statement, everything, put it on the table. I explained this. First of all, what entered my mind? What if I was a bad person? I'm even doing one dubious like a Yahoo boy. I saw this guy don't just finish me. But I took it. And then they started investigation. I was there. That was the kind of question they started asking myself. I wasn't comfortable anymore. I said, what is this? Then, when I knew it was a bit kind of serious, was when I said, you have to get the shorty, you have to get the lawyer, you have to get this. I said, whoa. What? Look at Paul telling people that I wrote petition against him, Paul. He even said they told him to bring the shorty. Obviously, that means he was detained. I didn't respond to that. 2-3 weeks, the fans criticized me. In fact, I'm sure if they wanted to kill me, they would kill me. I did not respond. I was there for 2.5 weeks. After Paul granted that interview, never for once did he say that the petition was for Jude. He said that I wrote petition against him and our elder brother. That they told him to bring shorty. Obviously, that means they seized your passport. Let me tell you what Paul did. You went to grant interview. Everything that happened to Jude, you claim it was you that it happened to. Paul, what are you hiding? Paul, what are you hiding? Now, Paul still claimed that. Now, what this part, he said that they cleared him, but they didn't come and apologize. 1 month ago, they called him, they called the brother. Say, first of all, what to say that after all investigation, Paul is innocent, first, and Paul is cleared. Everything you accuse him of, we've done an investigation, no. After they told you everything, the truth came out that I was innocent. What would you do if you're doing? What the next thing you do? I'm sorry.
Simple.
I didn't know.
Simple. So there was no I'm sorry from your brother?
Never. Paul, you were never cleared. Because your name was not even there in the first place. You're not even a director. EFCC did their investigation and found out that the director of this Northside Music was Jude and his wife. In fact, Jude's wife owns 800,000 shares. Jude owns 200. I laugh when they say, oh, the woman caused their wahala. Now that way marry a Yoruba woman. My wife have never gotten involved in P Square's affair. Let's assume it was Lola and I that owned that company. Lola owned 800,000. When I go crucify her. You think I'm lying? Look at it. Signed by the commissioner himself. CAC. Jude owns 200,000. Look at it. His wife owns 800,000 shares. The company that diverted P Square millions of dollars. I don't want to mention the amount, but I'm going to say it before the end of this video. Stick around. Now, after Paul finished granting our interview, 2.5 weeks, I wrote an open letter and I spoke about the EFCC matter. When I put it out there, I challenged Paul if he can prove there was a petition against him. Paul now went live. Watch this. So let me start, like I said, let me start with the EFCC. Peter said he met me one time and he told me about diversion this, diversion that. Now let me clear something. If you open the petition Peter wrote, I guarantee you, in the front page, my name is not there. Wait. In front of the petition, your name is not there. If I write petition against you, Paul, the first name you will see is your name. Okay, no problem. Let's continue. If you open inside the petition, you will see. Wait. In front of the petition, your name is not there. Inside the petition, your name is not there. So who was the petition for Paul? Paul, who was the... Because even, you know why? Even if he mentioned that the petition was for Jude, the petition has Northside Music. They had to include Jude after they found out he was the owner of the company, him and his wife. And you tell me this is not a betrayal? Family do not steal from family. You tell me we are blood. Blood do not steal from blood. I hear people say you hate your brother that much. Tell me how I hate my brother. Who started this hatred? If 3 of us were making this money normally, was that going to be a problem? Why did you wake up one morning and start stealing from me? Now, listen to Paul in the same City FM. I'm not speaking up because I want to bring anybody down, but I'm speaking up because the accusation was even more like he sold P Square catalog that is his share. The same catalog that I heard saying it, but the same catalog that I produced, I wrote 99% me, 99%. Yeah, sometimes the fans don't like me saying it. Like I said, I'm saying it now. 99% of the song is me. Listen, he said, "That me they write, that me they sing all the song. 99%. Mr. 99%, you went to EFCC now to tell them that P Square is Jude, me and you are the face." EFCC man now said, "Paul, prove it." Paul brought CAC document of Nosa Entertainment. I said, "This is it. That Jude owned 40 in P Square, Peter and Paul owned 30 that." The EFCC man said, "Look at it." I said, "Nosa Entertainment." Paul said, "Paul, show me where P Square is written inside this document." Inside the CAC document. Paul said, but that's what we used to run in P Square." The man said, "Where is the contract between Nosa Entertainment and P Square?" Paul now brought in resolution that we did in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, about sharing formula, where they made it look like if the P Square are Peter, Paul, and Jude. But remember one time, I was smart. That document is renewable every single year. Every single year. How we're going to be sharing money. Those are the period where I can boast. That document, you see that resolution? That document was my financial freedom. That was the first time I would do show like this. I have millions in my account. I never had millions. Because how I collect monies, as I said earlier, I want to pay my children's school fees, 15 million, they'll give me a check, 15 million, Paul, take 15 million. That's how we've been living. Have you guys noticed that anytime P Square break up, it didn't like that Peter they come back. Because when P Square breaks up, I can't access money. Peter becomes broke. Today I'm the bad egg. I'm not clear for myself. Like I said, how this thing what they do, I go collect her. And if you take 1% of her, I said, I thought this one would insult me, but I am used to it. No amount, see, let me repeat it again. No amount of insult is reduce success. Lie. Go check her. No matter how they don't try to hate me for this P Square matter, no amount could stop this success. They created a narrative. How do you guys feel? They stole from me. They discredited all my effort. They told you guys I was talentless. Paul claimed 99%. I'm sure the remaining 1%, he even gave it to Jude. Let me ask you a question. P Square was here. I'm talking to Paul now, and all of you that are supporting this madness because of you think it's blood. P Square was here. Davido, Bonapo, everybody was here. Don't get me wrong, P Square no trouble. We're still there here. These guys all went and overthrown us. Mr. 99% how far? Are you not supposed to be competing with these guys? Are you not supposed to be selling out stadium like they do? Oh. Today they compare me and you with all the 99% where you get. Some people they support rubbish. Why not they continue? I reported a company that both of you denied. Despite I knew it was you, Jude. When they told me, Peter, are you sure you want to hear what happened? I said, what? They said everything you told us in your petition is true, is even more than. I said, okay. Here is this. How do you feel? I said, I can't wait to leave and go and meet Paul and tell him what I discovered. He said, you don't have to go there. that Paul is involved.
Successful. If I call your house, what will happen? I bring my coffee. Repeat it again, too.
Daddy, your coffin come.
If I call
Nigga, you don't know
do
what
what? Repeat it.
See,
Repeat it.
in front of your lawyer.
Peter, shame on you.
In front of your lawyer.
Peter, boss said shame on you.
Look, stop it.
Boss said shame on you.
In front of your lawyer.
I shame
Down here now.
you. Shame.
Beat me, guys.
Oh, go to behind
Never don't beat me. Come with me. Fuck me. What to beat me? My time. What do you want to do? Beat me, my seat. You want beat me? You want beat me? Beat me, my seat. Even the listen to you. Nigga, I fucking implore you. I implore you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I implore you. Respect you. Don't beat me. 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 Yes.
Now, this incident that happened, I think, early 2015. Yeah, not 2016, early 2015, is now beginning to make sense to me. After EFCC told me everything based on the investigation, this particular incident started making sense to me. Why the sudden attack? Let me tell you guys what happened in that video. Somewhere about 2014, we started to split our property. Remember, we split this property with Jude. We split every property we have 3 ways with Jude, which we are not even supposed to. I heard some people say Jude invested in P Square. Jude was just a student like us. In fact, we all graduated the same time. The same time I left school, that was when Jude left. Jude was doing nothing. Let Jude prove if he had an employment or if he was doing anything. The person that sponsored us as a brother was our eldest brother, the one that is older than Jude, Henry. I don't want to tell you guys what he's going through today because of St. Jude. Another story for another time. So, what happened? We have a house in America, then Squareville in Omole, 2 wings, duplex. We all decided to share our properties into 3. So while we were building this particular house, Paul and Jude's own here in Parkview, the lawyer drafted a resolution for us. Everybody signed. Resolution in the sense that till these 3 new houses we're building becomes habitable. Peter now owns the house in America. Jude now owns Omole, Squareville, right wing. Paul now owns the left wing. Now, because Jude took the particular one that we were living on, because it has furniture, everything, Paul took the empty side. I don't know why he did that, but now because Peter's house looks as if it has a little bit more value, he says I'll balance Paul, I think 25 or 30 million. Yeah, like say 30 million here, in order to balance the equation. No problem. They prepared the document, we all signed, shared property 3 ways, which we're not even supposed to. Another story for another time. It's okay. I'm not complaining. Brotherly love. We left it. Then dollar went from like about 180 that time to about almost 300 and something. Guess what that means? Peter's properties now has value. Because now, let's say the house is what? $500,000. If I change it, if I sell the house and I decide to change the money, you know what that means. Dollars we're talking about. Jude and Paul were not themselves. Why? I had a long trip. I traveled to Turkey, Antalya to be precise. I went to go and stay with Samuel Eto'o.
So he's my friend. Like I stayed there for like almost 2 months with him. I was there. I got a phone call from our assistant manager that we have a show in 2 days' time. So no problem, I packed my bags. I traveled. Touchdown, Lagos. I got a message from our US caretaker. I got a message from her saying, Peter, why did you guys put the house in America on sale without telling me? Because she's also a realtor. I said, which house? Do you have another house in America? The same apartment. I said, no, we didn't. I think you guys did. Ask your brothers. I've confirmed it. While that was happening, I said, let me just get home because we have a show. By the time I go home, all of them were already on their way. So me, I rushed and I went to the venue. Got backstage. I met Paul. I said, Paul, no vex. So. Did any of you, or do you have an idea who put the house in America on sale? I said, which house? Like, that house we are supposed to, by the time we move into this house, she doesn't know what I'm talking about. I went to Jude. I said, Jude, I better go. You got an idea? What would you just say? Come up my front and before I slap you. Did I say anything? Like, did I actually? This is backstage. Where my colleagues are, friends are, clients are. Like your next client is actually backstage. You say you're going to slap me. Did I, like, even if you're, leave this brotherly love, like, leave this brotherly thing. Like, what warrants that statement? Next, he wanted to rush me. Some artists there just held him. We almost started fighting. I stood on the table. I said, guy, you are fired. He said, you fire me for waiting. Paul started laughing. Paul said, fire Motoma, I see now. While that was happening, they've already introduced us on stage. They gave me the mic. Some of my friends said, Peter, just go on stage. Like some of the band members, Peter just holding the mic. I dropped the mic and left. I left that venue. Yes, I did. I went to the car. I started posting. I tweeted that Jude has been fired. Anybody that does business with him, this is what Paul did. Paul uploaded a picture on Instagram. A picture that Jude is sitting down. I on the left side, Paul on the side. I know that popular picture. Paul cut me off and replaced me with a recording studio. Started writing things about family. Look at it, guys. Look at it. Long story short, of course, I contacted our lawyer, Festus Kiamo. I told him everything about it. He said, you know what, Peter, just go and pay that 30 million to Paul. And everything is 100% yours. I said, it's okay. I said, no problem. I then now walked up to Jude and I needed 30 million naira check. Of course, he has already known what I wanted to use it for. I wanted to use that to pay Paul. Jude refused to give it to me. Guys, remember, the same P-Square, they have millions of dollars in their account. The same P-Square has hundreds of millions of naira in their account. I can't get 30 million. You know the most surprising thing? Let me just bring you guys further. When we're in court, they say, me, I'm also a signatory. I say, that I and Paul can also sign. I say, really? I didn't know. And again, me and Paul have never signed any check. So, I don't know where that came from. But let's continue this topic. So, you did give me that money and I had to run to my wife. When I met my wife, mind you, My wife doesn't know anything, any dealings on P Square, because the moment I walked up, I was about to walk up to her, what's she gonna ask me? You don't have 30 million, like. And I said, Lola, can you give me 30 million? My wife was like, what happened? I said, I didn't to even tell her what I want to use the money. I just say very important. See, you guys don't have, like, I don't know what to tell her. I swallowed my pride. I was able to convince her. She said she doesn't have such an amount. Of course, she was working for her dad that time. And I said, can you tell your dad? She said, Peter. I said, please, Lola, it's very important. Somehow Lola was able to convince her dad. The next day, Lola's dad gave me a draft of 30 million. I then contacted Festus Kiamo, our lawyer. Mr. Festus, I'm on my way. He said, okay. He was going to send for Paul and Jude. We should come, I think should come around 5 o'clock in the evening. By the time I got there, everyone sat. This is the same office where that incident happened. This is what actually happened in that office. Before they started talking, Jude said, I got Festus, I better show him. Festus now look at Jude like, is there a need for this? That's okay. After all, Peter, if you agree, if you don't agree, there's nothing will happen. Just send it to me. He now gave me a document. Guess what I saw? That Mr. Peter Okoye hereby liquidate his shares and now will be replaced with Ifeoma Omokeke. I said, who is Ifeoma? I looked. I said, Jude's wife. And I looked at Paul. It's not even Anita. While that was going on, I said, I'm not going to sign it. You say you don't go sign it, but you get right to say many people don't do business with me. North side, he asked highest share, him and Paul, 70, that they will throw me out. No. Now I'm just looking at them. I said, try him. He said, Shebi, he's about to. Meanwhile, when all these things were happening, we were building these 3 houses with money coming from Northside Entertainment. While this was happening in like 3, 4, 5 months, you stopped funding my own. They stopped funding my own building. And when that was going on, when they stopped funding my own, I didn't want to bother that moment, and I have my reasons. Because I wanted our lawyer to come and see it by himself. And I told our lawyer, I said, I'm not going to sign this document. You say, you don't go sign up. You don't go sign up. Go collect the house for America. Mom will see. I said, I don't need to. I don't need to sign before it becomes mine. So when all these things were happening, I've already informed the property management over there in Atlanta that here is the document resolution that we have, that this house is now mine. And that time, Jude and Paul confirmed it. So right now, I've sent the document to them. So apparently, Jude's wife traveled to America. They didn't allow her to enter. Jude now said, why won't they call the apartment building? Why don't they allow her? They say, you confirm that this building is now Peter's. Say, no, it doesn't belong to you. Say, if it doesn't belong to Peter, send us another document that the 3 of you signed that says it does not belong to Peter. Of course, they know I'm not going to sign it. So in that meeting, I now said, Shebi, your wife, go there, then pursue her. They don't allow her in. So if you don't worry, the property is already, with or without Paul collecting the 30 million, the property is mine already. You now say, Paul, no collect them. Paul, no, just accept this document. Where could they go? After all, me and Paul will soon move into our own house. And once we move in, this document, this resolution, go expire. Everybody go back to square one. And I said, so all these things is because of dollar have increased. Peter's house, or the property that Peter has added value. Guess what I did? I said, Jude, no worry.
As you and Paul they move into that house, me to go follow na moving. Since I don't stop to defend my own. You now said, if you dey come my house, carry your coffee come. I go shoot you. Like, guy, I go shoot you, bury you, nothing will happen. That was when I pulled out my phone. I started recording. I said, repeat them again.
If I call your house, what will happen? I bring my coffee. Repeat them again, too.
Carry your coffin come.
If I call
Nigga, you don't
if I
know
do
what
what? Repeat it.
See,
Repeat it.
what of your lawyer?
Peter, shame on you.
I was recording this video. My twin brother raised his hand and slapped me.
Peter, Paul say shame on you. Peter, Paul say shame on you. Peter, Paul say shame on you.
Now, because I've recorded the video, I left that meeting. Because it was on the mainland. I head to the island. And I sent the video to Festus Kiamu, our lawyer. By the time I was heading almost towards after the bridge, he now called me and said, just turn back, come and carry your document. You know why? Apparently, the lawyer must have told him, Jude, Peter has so many evidence of you threatening to shoot him or kill him. Now he has recorded you. If this case really starts, I will not be any of you guys lawyers. You guys are going to sort it out yourself. That's how I turned back. They gave me the property document in the United States of America, Atlanta. That was what happened in that video. The video you saw. Yes. Let's not forget, this is not just the first time Judas threatened me. Yes, it's not the first time. Now, if you think I'm lying, look at the termination letter I used in September 2017. I wrote it that Jude have threatened me several times. In fact, I remember that the last one he did, Jude threatened that he's going to kill me and he's going to kill my wife. And I reported it to a certain governor that time, before the governor sent for us for a meeting. And after that meeting, in less than 48 hours after that meeting, Jude posted that threat on Twitter and on Instagram. Jude posted his hands loading gun. 3 guns, and I remember that floor. He posted and he wrote, fuck with me, because you know I've got it. This is it. That is what Jude posted. And after that, guess what happened? After that, the fans started hitting on him. How dare you post a gun? Because the fans don't know why he posted a gun. Only me. And the question is that when Jude was doing all this threat and Paul was there, what was Paul doing? What was Paul doing? My own twin brother. Jude has threatened me several times in front of Paul that he's going to kill me. I know he can't. They know born and well. Face to face, Jude. They know born you well. Now it's beginning to make sense. Why you guys wanted me out as a shareholder on Northside Entertainment. What would have happened if I had signed it that day? Today, I won't have anything to say. Because I didn't sign it, you all went to create Northside Music. Yes, and your wife became a shareholder. The same wife you wanted me out, bring her in. I'm not stupid.